Welcome to the bold analysis. I am back in Nairobi and I want to say thank you. I was in Lakeside for 2 days to support our friend Eunice. So I left. We managed to get the drug that we needed. Actually, we had to get it from Nairobi. So she started the first chemo today in the afternoon because dawa ilifika huko mchana mchana. So she'll undergo the sessions for this week until Friday. Then I think on the weekend, we shall have a very good update, a comprehensive update after all is done. And I want to say thank you very much. Thank you. Eunice's case, for those who may be hearing for the first time, is that she actually she delivered a baby. And after the delivery, of course, she lost the baby. But after that, she used to get some pain in the stomach. So for the first month, I thought it was just an effect ya kuzaa. But later on, when examination was done, they realized she had a growth. But it was at a mild stage. So ndio hata ilikuwa imefurisha tumbo. So that is why urgently she needed to undergo some 2 chemo sessions. I think they're mild chemo. They're not big chemo. Then after those 2 sessions, they were to drain hiyo maji imejaa kwa tumbo. Then from there, she undergo an examination to find out how she is. And I want to say thank you. I rushed, of course, and we really managed. I left Kisumu with one message. Mama ni mama. Let me tell you, in that hospital, I realized Eunice is married. 4 children. The husband is not there. There is something in the Luo called tero, inheritance. So that one disappeared in that practice. Kapotea. From where she's married, hakuna mtu ametoka huko amefika hospitali hata moja. She was there with the mother for all that time. Mama ni mama. I will give you more updates about that Ikisha, probably in this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, the general feeling is that economy is messed up. Mbadi, who is the Treasury CS, and William Ruto is part of the scheme that is setting Raila Odinga for a big backlash. And I can tell you that by the time Ruto will be heading to 2027 general election, Raila Odinga will be a more hated politician than the president himself. In fact, the former ODM leader, the former prime minister, I don't know if they still the current, will actually inherit the hate that William Ruto is going. The Ruto must go will turn out to be a Raila must go for some reasons. And that's what I want to show you here. Look at what happened today. The Treasury dispatched this media invite. I saw this, we are in some WhatsApp group here. So I saw this around 3:30. It's when it was in that WhatsApp group. Yes, it's one for Kenyan journalists and reporters. So it was posted there at 3:30 p.m. Kenyan time. Then, of course, if you look at the tone of it, I think I have it here. Let me just read it the email, that one that was sent in the email. Yes, this is it here. I wanted to read the tone. The message that was there. Right Honorable Raila and CS Honorable Ruto-Mbadi, Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Economic Planning, invite the media to a press briefing today at 4 p.m. at Capitol Hill Square, Nairobi. Now, this kind of a press briefing is one where when journalists hear, you stop everything and you get your best reporter to rush to Capitol Hill. Because you never know, is broad-based falling down? So when Mbadi went there to Mbadi went to Raila Odinga's Capitol Hill office, and the journalists were making their way there. 30 minutes later, the press has started. In fact, it started before even all the journalists were there. And by the time the dispatch, when the journalists arrive, Mbadi's security details, the official car, and that of that ambassador, in fact, that ambassador and Mbadi arrived at the same time. They arrived there at the same time. Na wale journalists waliwapata. So that dispatch was sent when already Mbadi was there. And there was a picture that had to come out that Mbadi is holding a joint press briefing by Raila. And of course people need to ask, so how? How? You know, how? So, see, they say Raila is not in government. So Raila said he's not in government. So how again? Now let us hear that short presser.
I have received today here Ambassador Guo Haiyan from the People's Republic of China. She's paid a courtesy call on me, just like other ambassadors have done. This is basically in my capacity the leader of the Orange Democratic Movement. And we have discussed issues of common interests. As you know that the People's Republic of China has been in this country for as long as Kenya has been independent. And they have financed a number of development projects in our country. There's a very good cordial relationship between Kenya and China within the fields of trade, fields of industrialization, the fields of cultural exchange, and so on. So we've just done a review of this, and as you know, it's ongoing discussions between the government of China and the government of Kenya, but I'm not part of the government. Therefore, I'm only concerned about mutual relationship between our two countries. So this is what we have discussed this afternoon. And the minister or the cabinet secretary for finance was also in attendance. Basically, that's all that I have to say. Any questions? None. Thank you very much.
When you can listen to that press briefing, it is right to say that Raila said nothing there. So that, in fact, there was no press briefing, if you ask me. There was no press briefing, but there was a plan to create a perception that Raila and Mbadi are together in some sort of a meeting, so they're telling the country something. But there is nothing they said. There is nothing Raila said. In fact, if you're keen, he was not even reading from somewhere. And if you listen to what he's saying, apart from saying that Ambassador amekuja na Treasury, there is nothing that is linking him to Treasury directly. Like, what did they discuss? And it had to be made that way, that there are no questions. So what could the journalist ask if the man, if Raila only spoke for 2 minutes and 33 seconds? And he said nothing. So that was just a hyped press briefing that didn't have any tangible. In fact, let me tell you, make some few observations there. Number one, in that press briefing, Raila Odinga, Mbadi, and the ambassador from China are the three in the frame. But if you look at the photo that was taken inside the boardroom, this is the photo here. This is the photo that was taken inside that boardroom. If you look at this photo, you can see the convener of this meeting is Raila. It had to be that way. Then Mbadi, I want to believe the person seated next to Mbadi could be part of his team from the Treasury. Then you can see some two other envoys with the Chinese ambassador. So there was indeed a meeting in Capitol Hill. So this is something that was created. So you could see Raila in the middle. And so who is the convener of this meeting? It is Raila Odinga. It is not even Mbadi. Now, you've heard what he said there. Let's just get what they have posted. The Chinese ambassador to Kenya, Her Excellency Guo Haiyan, accompanied by CS Treasury and Economic Planning, paid me a visit. China and Kenya have historic mutual and cordial relations. We collaborate on trade, industry, technology, infrastructure. Thank you for the visit. Now, who called for this meeting? The ambassador. So the Treasury ni kumzindikiza. According to Mbadi, he didn't mention about the ambassador. And I want you to remember, the media invite that was sent by Mbadi from Mbadi's office never mentioned about this ambassador. Now, the meeting, according to Raila Odinga's team, they're talking about Chinese ambassador was the guest, but he was accompanied by the Treasury. So what exactly happened, and what is in it? Just make the next observation. Raila was under pressure to explain that in his capacity as ODM leader, a lie, and a big one, is a lie. Why? Is Mbadi there in his is Mbadi representing ODM in any way? Number two, I have not heard anything that Raila has spoken about that need an intervention of an ODM leader. No. There is nothing like legislation. For example, that ODM party is only relevant in parliament when there is a legislation to be pushed. Or probably that ODM party is in some broad-based administration in the government. So ODM can tell president something. So ODM leader is part of the presidency. That was Raila was confirming. Then he pulls a newspaper headline by saying, I am not part of Ruto government. And I want to say and repeat this. It doesn't matter how many press briefings Odinga will call telling the country I'm not part of the broad-based. No one cares about what he says. I think the country is reading the actions. The actions are speaking louder than his words. So I don't know. And I once said after AUC that Odinga needed to discard some characters around him. However, even if you say you are not part, saying is one thing, but people see the action. The president is pushing that clearly. And I can tell you, this is part of the feel-good episodes. I once told you the truth about that Odinga is a man who loves the trappings of power. Magari pale, security, He loves that trappings of power, access to power. He loves that. And that is what exactly William Ruto wants to achieve. And in fact, William Ruto's objective is to push the perception that Treasury, which is the backbone of the country's economy and budget, that those dockets are controlled by Raila. In any case, things will fall apart. And Raila wants to break from that marriage. Hey, Raila will not leave that marriage without the baggage. He will carry a lot of baggage and he will be told, I even gave you Treasury. Treasury used to report to you. So you cannot say that the government has failed. And you gave me experts. After giving me experts, yourself, you started consulting with your experts. If Raila is not part of Kenya Kwanza administration, then these optics are very poisonous to him. These optics are not going to help in any case. Now, I've seen this. So let's look at the real, what exactly was the deal of this meeting. What I am seeing here is there could be a major deal that China is pushing with Kenyan government. And William Ruto has created, and probably William Ruto has created bottlenecks. So the Chinese ambassador went to Mbadi, and Mbadi told him, let's go to Raila, because Raila often talks with the president, so that Raila can help us push. Hapa, Raila ni kupush. Ambia ni kweli. But then, William Ruto loves it that way, that people go to consult Raila so that Raila can reach him. So that within government, they will say how powerful Raila is. He actually loves it that way. It is part of pushing it. And I want to relate this, the kind of optics of feel good, to what happened yesterday. I saw a very shameless video, a very scary video, where goons, pro-Raila goons, descending on Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Salasa with blows and stones and some objects, ejecting him from Nyayo Stadium. I think in this channel, and I know people know that, our subscribers know that on such, we don't, there is no second guessing it. We don't support hooliganism. I've never defended hooligans because these were political machineries. All these happened. I saw young people, some men, not young people, of course. Those are good, muscular goons. Wakipiga Gachagua, wakipiga Salasho, wakimfukuza. And I saw some people celebrating. What is there to celebrate about? You might disagree with how Salasia speaks. Fine. Kwani Uhuru aliambiwa nini? Huyu Ruto alikuwa anaambia Uhuru nini? Wewe ni mlevi, wewe ni mjinga, what kind of words did Ruto speak on William Ruto, on Raila Odinga, on Uhuru Kenyatta? But it has never been that. So I agree. Of course, Salase has a lot of baggage. Salase also is not one of my like, of course. Venye anavuta bangi, watu wanaona, and is a role model, so young people see. It's not one thing that really some of us would want to see. But the actions of those goons are not either in the right direction. Why? That is part of bringing the Raila division. I saw that conflict has now changed to a Luo fight. But I want to say this. Raila Odinga sent goons to his friend, long-term friend Kalonzo Musyoka and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga when Kalonzo was supposed to issue a presser. So this I didn't want to comment about that thing because mimi siipendi. Sasa hizo. Alafu mtu anachukua darama na rusha. I've always been asking, when you're throwing a stone or when you're throwing that object, how about if it falls on the head of your brother? Because that is a football match. Pale ni watu ni wengi. Stampede itoke. Si mtu atakanyanga mtoto. Oh. Okay. Let's get back to this. William Ruto is closely micromanaging Raila. And on two objectives. Number one is to, of course, to ensure that they sustain the observation that Raila is part of government. Raila cannot disassociate with this government. And this is part of what Ruto wants to achieve, that kila mtu aone Raila ako ndani. Number two, Ruto is going to ensure that Raila is the most hated and to create the rift between him and the masses. Because sahi anakutana na Mbadi, wanapanga vitu. And when people are saying those things, people say, oh, akona Mbadi. Or sasa wao ndio wana manage economy. But in real sense, things are not working. Aya, sawa.